Hello students, welcome back. We had been discussing about the first lesson of Flamingo, that is the last lesson. Situation was Franco-Prussian War and Germany captured two French provinces, Alsace and Lorraine, and issued an order to speak and learn only German languages in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. M. Hamel, he had been teaching in a French school for the last 40 years. It was his last lesson that he was going to give the children. And that day, Franz, the hero, he was very much afraid. There were two reasons. First, he was late. Then he did not learn about the participle. So, as he was going to school, a tempting sight captured him. What was the tempting sight? The day was warm and bright. Birds were chirping at the edge of the woods, and the Prussian soldiers were drilling in the open field at the back of Sami. Then, while he was walking through the way, in front of the town hall there was such a great crowd, and some people were reading the bulletin. He did not stop there. He was walking, and he began to think what was the reason. Then he reached the school. He noticed some tremendous changes. What were they? Number one, silence in the class. Number two, special uniform of the teacher. Number three, presence of village elders. Now, next paragraph. Who is the narrator? Franz. While I was wondering about it all, while I was thinking, I mean Franz, while Franz was thinking all about those changes, M. Hamel mounted his chair. M. Hamel upon a platform keeper, and in the same grave and gentle tone which he had used to me. In the same tone, which tone? Gentle and grave, serious tone. वो हमेशा वो serious tone में बात करते हैं, वो same tone में he said, my children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. Today is my last lesson. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. जर्मनी का आदेश आ चुका है to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. And your new master comes tomorrow. And this is the last French lesson I shall give you. So I want you to be very attentive. So that was the announcement that M. Hamel gave that day. What was the announcement? It was his last class. An order had come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. तुम्हारा नया टीचर कल आएगा. आज लास्ट क्लास है, so सभी लोग ध्यान से बैठ लीजिए. That was the announcement. What a thunderclap! These words were to me. Thunderclap, noise like thunder. ये announcement फ्रांस के लिए एक thunder clap था. So what was the thunderclap that Franz mentioned here? What was the thunderclap? The announcement that it was the last lesson of M. Hamel, and order had come from Berlin to teach only German languages in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. He announced something. Franz was shocked. Oh, the wretches. Wretches normally means an unfortunate man. But here it is used as an ugly word. Oh, bad log. Who are they? Germans के बारे में बता रहे. Oh, that was what they had put up in the town hall. अच्छा, town hall के notice board पे बात ये था. Now Franz understood what was written in that notice board. Why there was such a great crowd in front of the bulletin board? Because it was an important news. अगला दिन से अल्सेस एंड लॉरेन के हर एक स्कूलों में ओनली जर्मन भाषा सिखाया जाएगा। नाउ स्कूल बंद होने की एडवांटेज भी है, डिसएडवांटेज भी है। माई लास्ट फ्रेंच लेसन, मेरा लास्ट फ्रेंच लेसन, वाई आई हार्डली नो हाउ टू राइट, हार्डली नॉट नेगेटिव वर्ड है, आई डोंट नो हाउ टू राइट। सुन लेना फ्रेंड्स, he was an uninteresting boy, he had no interest in his studies, लेकिन अब कुछ दिनों से पढ़ने का शौक तो इंटरेस्ट आ रहा था, बट नाउ द ऑर्डर हैज कम, ओह माई लास्ट लेसन, आई शुड नेवर लर्न एनीमोर, आई मस्ट स्टॉप देयर, then there is no chance to continue his lesson, मुझे तो रोकना पड़ेगा। Oh, how sorry I was for not learning my lesson. Disadvantage बता रहे, he could not learn his lesson. Number 2, and I could not learn anymore, then I must stop there. Oh, how sorry I was for not learning my lesson, for seeking birds' eggs. इंटररोगेटिव में पेड़ के ऊपर चढ़ के घोंसले से अंडा ढूंढते थे, वो मौका भी नष्ट हो जाएगा। एंड गोइंग स्लाइडिंग ऑन द स्टार, स्टार हियर इज द नेम ऑफ ए वैली, उसके ऊपर चढ़ के नीचे की तरफ फिसलना, स्लाइड करना, वो 3 मौके नष्ट हो जाएगा। सो what were the disadvantages that France noticed there with the closing of the school? Number 1, he could not learn his lessons. Number 2, he could not seek birds' eggs. Number 3, he could not go sliding down the Saar, down the Saar. Then, my books,
Thank you.
that had seemed such a nuisance a while ago, वो बुक्स मेरे लिए एक बहुत nuisance था, परेशानी था, so heavy to carry, उठाने में एक बहुत बड़ा बोझ था। My grammar and my history of the saints were old friends. Now I could not give up. Now I could not give up. ये बोझ को मैं अभी छोड़ नहीं कर सकता। It means that for some days he had developed an interest to study. My books, my grammar books, that had seemed such a nuisance a while ago, so heavy to carry, and my history of the saints book का नाम है, and were old friends. ये मेरा पुराना दोस्तों को मैं अभी छोड़ नहीं कर सकता, but स्कूल बंद होने की फायदा भी है। And then M. Hamel too, that's the idea that he was going away. The idea that M. Hamel was going away, that I should never see him again. दोबारा टीचर्स को देखने का जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि M. Hamel was a hard, disciplined teacher and made me forget all about his ruler and how cranky, strange he was. So he could forget the cranky, strange nature of the teacher. So school बंद होने के फायदा, number 1, he could not see the teacher again. ये teacher क्यों? क्योंकि M. Hamel, he was very disciplined, hard teacher. Number 2, he could forget about his ruler. Number 3, he could forget the cranky nature of the teacher. So for a second, when he heard the news, thunderclap. What was the thunderclap? The announcement that M. Hamel was going it was the last lesson of M. Hamel. So he began to think about the advantages and disadvantages of closing the school. सबसे पहले disadvantage के बारे में, he could not learn his lessons. Number 2, he could not seek birds' eggs. Number 3, he could not go sliding down the shore. Profit क्या था? He could not see the teacher again. खतरनाक उस teacher school छोड़ के जा रहे. Number 2, he could forget about his ruler. And number 3, he could forget the cranky nature of the teacher. Poor man. Poor man कौन है इधर? M. Hamel के बारे में फ्रांसिस सोच रहे. It was in honor of this last lesson he had put on his fine Sunday clothes. अच्छा, इसलिए that is why the teacher has worn his fine Sunday clothes. And now I understood why the old men of the village were sitting there. अभी मुझे समझ में आ गया why the old villagers were sitting inside the classroom. It was because they were sorry. Why did the village elders gather inside the classroom? Number 1, they were sorry that they had never gone to school more. क्योंकि आए वाले लोग ज़्यादा educated नहीं है. They had never gone to school more. It was their way of thanking the teacher, thanking our master for his 40 years of faithful service and of showing their respect for the country that was theirs no more. Why did the village elders gather? The number 1, they were sorry that they had never gone to school more. Number 2, it was their way of thanking the teacher, thanking the master for his 40 years of faithful service. Number 3, to show the respect for the country. To show their respect. That was theirs no more. वो country अभी इनका नहीं है, अब जर्मन के हाथ में है, फिर भी अपना देश को आदर करने के लिए आए थे ये लोग. Now, why I was thinking of all this? मैं ये सभी बात के बारे में सोच रहा था. सभी बात, silence in the class, the special uniform of the teacher, the presence of village elders. I heard my name called. M. Hamel called Franz. Franz, stand up. And it was my turn to recite. It was my turn to tell the answer. Answer बोलने की मेरा chance आ गया. Because the teacher had said that he would question the more participants. What would? If I had not been able to say that dreadful rule for the participle altru, what will happen? If I was not able to say that dreadful rule for the participle, OB very loud and clear without one mistake. The teacher is very harsh and disciplined teacher. जरूर वो मारेगा, punish करेगा. What will happen if Franz was not able to say that dreadful rule for the participle? OB, very loud, very clear, without one mistake. कुछ भी हो, Franz stood up to answer. But I got mixed up on the first verse and stood there. Franz stood up, but he was unable to utter the answer, unable to say the answer. पहला शब्दों में भी अटक गया, and he holding on made us, my heart beating and not daring to look up. So what change that happened? वहां पे क्या चेंज हो गया? He was unable to say the answer. He stood up. Then he held on the desk, his heart beating and not daring to look up. He thought that the teacher would punish him, but I had a young camel say to me, I won't scold you. Friends, nothing to worry, मैं कुछ भी नहीं करूँगा. I won't scold you. You must feel bad enough. तुम्हें बुरा लगेगा. Especially in this last class, in this last lesson, I should punish you. No. तुम्हें बुरा लगेगा. And see how it is. लेकिन तुम देख लो कैसे एक बात. Every day we have said to ourselves, हर दिन हम बोलते वाह, I have plenty of time, I will learn it tomorrow. And now you see where we have come out. अब आप देख लीजिए हम कहां पे आ चुके हैं. Now young Hamel, he describes the mistakes of each and everyone. सबसे बच्चों की मिस्टेक के बारे में बता रहे. What was the mistake of the children? They kept everything for the next day. And that is the great trouble with Alsace. Alsace का सबसे बड़ा परेशानी यही है. What was that? She puts learning till tomorrow. पढ़ाई करके नहीं छोड़ देती. So whatever you have to do it today. And now those fellows out. Now बाहर की वो लोग, they are Germans. They will have the right to say to you. अभी आपसे बोलने की हक, आपको क्या करना चाहिए, आपको क्या खाना चाहिए, क्या पहनना चाहिए. Who will decide? Those fellows out, Germans. And look how it is. You pretend to be Frenchman. आप बोल रहे I am Frenchman, but you can neither speak nor write your own language. खुद का भाषा लिखने की, बोलने की rights नहीं है. But you are not the worst, poor little France. But you are not such a bad in this case. And we all have a great deal to reproach ourselves with. We all have a great deal. हम सबके ऊपर इसका ब्लेम करना पड़ेगा. To reproach ourselves with. France was not able to say the answer. ये टीचर बोल रहे I won't scold you. लेकिन तुम देख लो how it is. You pretend to be Frenchman, but you can neither write nor speak your own language. लेकिन तुम्हारा गलती नहीं है. We all have a great deal to reproach, blame ourselves with. बच्चों की गलती तो बताया. They kept everything for the next day. Now, an important word. Your parents, they were not anxious enough to have you to learn. तुम्हारे parents इतना interest नहीं थे to educate you. They preferred to send you to the mill or farm so as to have more money. तुम्हारे parents की गलती क्या है? They were not at all interested in sending you to school. They preferred to send you to mill or farm so as to gain more money. Remember one thing, poverty was at its height during Franco-Prussian War. Discussed. क्योंकि parents के पास पैसा नहीं है. They wanted to send their children to farm or mill so as to gain a little more money. Now he mentioned about the mistake of students, mistake of parents. Now young Hamel, वो खुद बोल रहे हैं, and I have been to blame also. मेरे ऊपर भी blame करना है. What was the mistake of the teacher? Have I not often sent you to water my flowers instead of learning your lessons? When the students were ready to learn the lesson, the teacher asked them to water the plants. And when I wanted to go fishing, did I not just give you a holiday? When the teacher wanted to go for fishing, teacher gave them holiday. So mistake. Whose mistake? Each and everybody is guilty in this matter. Okay? The children, they kept learning for the next day. And the parents were not anxious enough to have them to educate. They preferred to send them to mill or farm so as to gain more money. The teacher asked them to water the flowers, water the plants when the children wanted to learn, and when the teacher wanted to go fishing, teacher gave them holiday. एक बार रिवाइज करेंगे. While France was thinking all about those changes, normally it was such a great bustle in the classroom, and this sound could be heard in the streets. But that day, सभी Sunday morning की तरह silent थे. While France were thinking about all these changes, young Hamel अपना प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर चढ़ गया, and in the same grave manner, in the gentle tone, he announced that it was his last lesson in that school. क्योंकि order आ चुका है that only German languages should be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. अब फ्रांस बोल रहे हैं, oh, what a thunderclap these words were to me. यह वर्ड सुन के लिए एक थंडर क्लैप की तरह लगा. And he began to think, अरे कितना दुख लग रहा मुझे that he could not continue his learning. First we noticed that France was an uninteresting boy. लेकिन अभी 2-3 दिनों से पढ़ने का थोड़ा इंटरेस्ट आ रहा था, लेकिन अब ब्रेक हो गया पढ़ाई का. And how sorry I was for not learning my lesson, for seeking birds' eggs and going sliding down the star. लेकिन स्कूल बंद होने की फायदा भी है. The idea that the harsh disciplined teacher young Hamel, he was going away, and he could forget the ruler of the teacher, and he could forget the cranky nature of the teacher. Teacher का वो cranky strange nature भी भूल सकता है. Then after some time, while he was thinking all about this, young Hamel called France. It was his chance to answer the question. क्या होगा if he was not able to say the answer correctly, loudly, clearly? Teacher जरूर उनको punish करेगा. And he stood up, his heart beating, he held on his desk, and he was totally confused. He thought that teacher would punish him. लेकिन कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. यम खामल बहुत प्यार से बोला, I won't scold you, but तुम देखो तुम कौन सी हालत में खड़ा हो रहे. मैं तुम्हें तुम्हारा भाषा के बारे में, तुम्हारा मातृभाषा के बारे में पूछा, लेकिन तुम्हें you don't know how to answer. देखो where you are standing, and those fellows out, बाहर के लोग Germans, they will have the right to say to you. लेकिन गलती सिर्फ तुम्हारा नहीं है. We all have a great deal to blame, reproach ourselves with. बच्चों की गलती क्या था? They kept everything for the next day. Parents वो भी इतना चिंता नहीं करते थे to send the children to school. They preferred to send them to mill or farm so as to gain more money. क्योंकि गरीबी इतना ज्यादा था फ्रैंको प्रेशन वार के टाइम पे. एंड टीचर क्या गलती? टीचर भी बोल रहे हैं, मुझे भी ब्लेम करना है. क्योंकि when the children wanted to learn their lessons, teacher asked them to water the plants. And when the teacher wanted to go fishing, he just gave them holiday. Look at the first question. What was the thunderclap? The thunderclap was the announcement of young Hamel that German language must be taught in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. French भाषा वहां से हटाया जाएगा. What was the disadvantages of closing the school? He could not learn anymore. He could not seek birds' eggs. and he could not slide down the sod. What benefits could he enjoy? He could, the harsh discipline teacher, he was going away. The children could forget his terrible ruler, and they could forget the cranky nature of the teacher. How did Franz react when the teacher asked him the question? He was unable to say the answer. He held on his desk, his heart beating, and he did not have the courage to look up. We all have a great deal to reproach ourselves with. Explain. M. Hamel described the pathetic condition of Franz, Alsace and Lorraine. He said that each and everybody was responsible for that condition. Children, they kept everything for the next day, and parents, they sent their children to farm or mill so as to gain more money, and the teacher, he gave them holiday whenever they he wanted to go for fishing, or he asked them to water the plants when the children wanted to learn their lesson. Did you get it? So, शुरू से एक बार आप पढ़ के देख लेना. Whenever you have doubt, I will clear it. So, we shall continue the class in the next session. Thank you.